I'm showing the setup, the arrangement that I have, and because I meditate daily, this is something that I maintain for myself and my clients. I have this firm meditation cushion that I brought from Nepal with me, and which I place on another cushion. And basically, the setup that I have when I meditate, and so your spine's supposed to be, your back's supposed to be straight, and you're not supposed to lean on anything. And it is a very challenging thing for me. So what I do, I have some pillows here, which I don't lean on, yet I feel kind of just a touch on my back, and that kind of helps me probably more morally than physically, but of having a feeling of support. But if you can sit for 45 minutes without that, it's perfect. It's really better to have it that way. And then I will show you the setup that I have when I sit. So I sit, in an easy pose. Advanced yogis do the lotus pose. I can show the lotus, but I cannot sit in lotus for 45 minutes. So what I do, I put 2 cushions underneath my knees, and so that also allows me to have more support. And you can place your hands in front of you or on your legs. You sit straight and relaxed. In monastery, they were encouraging to have eyes slightly open like this. It is difficult for me, so I prefer to keep them closed, and it was okay in the second Vipassana that I was doing. And once you just begin the meditation, you arrive to your space, you arrive to within yourself with a couple of deep breaths. You feel your center. And then what helps is an intention that you have an intention to go through this meditation, and that you have no expectation whatsoever, and your commitment is just to stay present as much as you can. And then what helps, maybe for 30 seconds or so, whatever you feel like, start scanning your body. So beginning from the crown, kind of just connecting, locating that point, but just internally, and then going down and scanning, your forehead, your nose, your eyes, your cheeks. Make sure that everything is relaxed, you're not clinging on your teeth, not clenching, and then your neck. So the head is maybe slightly tilted forward. And then it's actually, you may sit a little bit further to the back, because when we think we sit like this, it's not straight. Straight is like this, right? So just trying to be aligned as much as you can, and it's related to the chakras and everything. And actually, when you are in the right angle, it's easier to maintain that pose for a longer time. So when you are in that center, when you did this body scan, you begin the actual sitting meditation, which begins with you concentrate on the belly, underneath the belly button. You just internally locate the spot. And then within yourself, you say rising, falling. So rising, inhale, falling, while maintaining your attention here in the center. And then you say sitting, and then you just concentrate on your bottom, connecting with the cushion. And then you come back to rising, falling, sitting. So these are your points that you concentrate on. And again, the Vipassana, the one that I did, were 5 days. And on the 3rd day, we were added the 4th point. There are actually much more we were doing in the monastery, but I will just tell the ones that I was doing during this 5-day Vipassana. So the 4th one was rising, falling, sitting, and then touching. And then you can locate the spot on a back. I will turn and show, for example, here, where in the center of the back, somewhere here, and it doesn't matter which spot you choose, just make sure to choose the same spot over and over again, where you're just returning to the spot. So by adding more points of the concentration, you just allow your mind to expand more and to be trained more. And that's the point of it. So again, you're sitting with your closed eyes, you're breathing, and then you're concentrating under your belly, and then you take a breath within yourself. You say rising, falling, sitting, and then on the third day you may add the touching. And then you go through this 45 minutes, and of course the thoughts will come, something, you will be distracted. When the thoughts come, you may acknowledge them by thinking, 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 and then again, rising, falling, sitting, rising, falling, sitting. Or you hear something, you acknowledge the sound, hearing, hearing, hearing. And it's important to say, not to say I hear, because again, the point is to disassociate yourself with the body, with the thoughts, with the feelings, with the emotions. So you just fully in the observer mode, where you just sitting within yourself, just observing everything that is happening. And I'm sharing this technique also for those who just want to meditate in this state, because I've studied all kinds of meditations. As I said, I stayed in the Buddhist monastery. I was in Osho Tapoban, where we were practicing dynamic meditations. There are lots of guided meditations and all kinds of that. But with all of those, again, you have another concentration point. And if it's a guided one, there is another medium between you and the higher self. So with this one, you're fully with yourself, yet it's not just sitting in silence, which sometimes I used to do, but now I see that sitting in silence is just relaxing, sitting in silence. You don't get much benefit from it, versus where you are concentrated, and this is actually the actual work. When you actually train your brain, you're establishing this new relationship with your brain when it actually starts to serve you. And there will be times, for example, in my first day in walking meditation, it was so bizarre. As I was walking, this thought came to me: what happens if there is a fire in the building? What kind of things I need to take off from the apartment? And I could feel the sabotage of my own brain, because I'm not the person who lives with fear at all. And that was not the thought that I would normally have. It was just a clear picture of how brain works. It's like a guardian dog that, just there to protect you. And that's how it was designed to be the guardian dog. But in this setup of the world where we are, it was promoted to be the CEO of the whole thing, where the heart's supposed to be the CEO or the general manager of this, structure. And that's why the guardian dog's mission is always to maintain the status quo. And then the guardian dog doesn't love the change, and everything treats with like it's a danger. So anything new that you practice, that dog just barks because it doesn't know what it means, and that's why it reacts that way. So the purpose is to give a bone to the guardian dog, and that's those points that you concentrate, so then the work can occur. So again, you sit like this for 45 minutes, and again, no matter what happens, you may fall off track. You always come back to that. As soon as you realize that you may even fall asleep, or some thoughts come to you, as soon as you realize that that is happening, you just acknowledge the process and come back to the process. So another way of sitting, which also is very convenient, is, so I will show you, it's like riding something. So you sit on top of a cushion or a pillow, and then your knees are bent, and then you can just feel comfortable like this. And I will show you from the different angle. And it's nice if you have like pillow like I have underneath, so then there will be a natural curve for your foot to go down. So it's going to be difficult on a floor, on a surface. So another way I will show like how I sit. So it's basically having it between the legs and kind of like riding. So again, it's nice to have something soft underneath. So this helped me, again, sometimes when it's getting too much and too difficult, just to even switch position, or having one sitting meditation in one position and another one in this position, and gives you some kind of variety. That it's at that point you start appreciating variety wherever that is. So the next one is the walking meditation, and it's recommended, it's better if you have some kind of carpet, because it's recommended to have it barefoot, so you can have a sensation, and it's actually nice to have some kind of texture that you can touch, because In this meditation, the main focus is on the feet. So fully connecting to your feet, grounding yourself, and then starting to feel, okay, what it feels like to connect to my feet. How does it feel? How do I feel the pressure? And what are the sensations of just standing on the carpet? And then again, you begin meditation with intention to go through this meditation and not to have expectations. And then you may do a quick scan of your body. And then again, for a couple of days, you just do lifting, moving, putting. You say those words inside of yourself. And in both sitting and walking meditation, it's not that important the words themselves as where you guide your awareness into. So it's all about reminding you to keep your awareness and attention on the feet. So you do really small steps, and the whole area should be probably like 10-12 feet. You should not walk really long distances, and even if you have the space, because it keeps you more concentrated on the process. So again, lifting, moving, putting. And the steps should not be very big, so you should not lose your balance. And say something, a thought came to you, so you stop and you acknowledge stopping, stopping, stopping. And then whatever came, you had a thought, then you say thinking, thinking, thinking. And then at the same time you heard a car passing by or someone in the building, made a noise, so you say hearing, hearing, hearing. And then you need to continue. So within yourself, you say intending to walk, intending to walk, intending to walk. And then again, lifting, moving, putting. And as I say, as you do this, so when you lift your foot from the ground, what is the sensation? For example, right now I can feel how the balance, my weight is more on the left side, right? So I feel some lightness, I feel some movement of the liquid, the blood or lymph in my right foot. So the concentration is on the foot that is moving. So at the same time, you're just observing those sensations. So lifting, moving. As I'm moving, for example, I feel some air underneath my foot. So moving and then putting. And of course, when I put back my leg, my foot, I can feel the balance equally spread between the 2 feet. So it's all about just noticing. You don't need to acknowledge saying like, something is happening, unless something out of ordinary happens where you just say feeling, feeling, feeling. And then you continue again, lifting, moving, putting, and again, lifting, moving, putting. And then, for example, you come to the end of the path that you are at, and then you say again, stopping, 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 intending to turn, intending to turn, intending to turn, and then turning, 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 turning. And then you may acknowledge standing, 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 and then again, intending to walk, intending to walk, intending to walk, and again, lifting, moving, putting, lifting, moving, putting. It is very important to move slowly, and I will tell you a secret. This is how I entered the 5th dimension. And after the 3rd day, you will have another added point where you do heel up, lifting, moving, putting. And I'm actually showing it faster than it's supposed to be, so I will try to show it slower than how it's recommended. So heel up, lifting, moving, putting. And again, you don't pronounce this loudly, you just say it within yourself. Heel up, lifting, moving, putting. The technique itself is very simple, as you can see, and that's how it was maintained for 2,500 years, because It is so simple, yet it's incredibly effective. And even if you're not ready to commit to Vipassana for 5 days, this is the technique that I'm offering to practice, daily in your life. And it's easier to do, to meditate in the morning, when as soon as you wake up, when the mind is still not very active. And for example, I wake up in the morning and I do half an hour sitting meditation, and then I do qigong, I do yoga, and then I do half hour walking meditation, half hour sitting meditation. And even if you begin with 10 minutes each, it's all about the practice. You can see the benefit of this work if it becomes your daily practice, even if it's a 5 minute, even when you travel, no matter what the situation is. If it becomes a habit like brushing teeth twice a day, then you will definitely see lots of benefit of this technique, and it will improve your life, you increase your awareness, establish the connection within yourself, but also with other people around you, and overall, and as I said, this is such a great gift. So this is the invitation to claim the gift. Thank you so much for your time, for watching this, and please write your questions. I will repeat that I'm not a teacher of this at all, and this is just something that I share as a person who just found so much benefit from this experience, and it's just an invitation for you to explore further and receive those benefits as well. Thank you.